Rum, what's up?
And today we're going to start off Nevidebla versus Board Game Edition with Gloom in Space. Ta-da!
Yay! Let me silence this.
Okay, probably wise. Very professional. We're off to a rollicking start, and I have my hand held backwards.
Well, seeing as how starting the stream had to go all the way up there, and then like I'm covering half the camera there. So
You were a blocker. We needed to make a dramatic reveal. Exactly. So, for those of you not familiar with Gloom, or Gloom in Space, it's basically you have a group of people, usually misanthropes, misfits, people that are a bit quirky for all the wrong reasons, and your goal is to make them as miserable as possible. Yep. Just run them into the gutter before you give them an untimely death. Your opponent, however, can get back at you by making their lives better.
Yeah. As it was said on tabletop, it's sort of like playing golf with people's lives, where you have to the lowest score possible is the best score possible. So let's go ahead and announce what our teams here. So on my team, I have the android. We can see that. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, it looks to be visible. Flavor text isn't, though.
Yeah, that's fine. I have the doctor. Not that kind of doctor, because I have the time traveler. That's him. Hold on. And you can't see it.
Not very well in focus.
And the space knight, which is pretty much a Jedi. And who do you have on your team?
All right. To start off, I have the bounty hunter.
Ooh.
He doesn't get to say much, but look at him. He's awesome. You know it, just by the way he carries himself. I also have the counselor. Longtime friend. By the way, Gloom is a lot about telling your own story with the cards of the game. So, in creating my crew, they're no longer families. I don't know, crew, family, whatever you want to call it. In creating my crew, I've decided to make a little story. So, we have the bounty hunter, as I mentioned earlier, who is there for a paycheck, because that's what bounty hunters do. Wise man once said, if you're good at something, never do it for free. So, the bounty hunter kills people. He's apparently good at it because he's still doing it. And we also have the counselor, who is the longtime friend of the intergalactic princess, who, it might seem odd that they are on a crew with the Dark Lord of Space, not the Prince of Space, but they have been seduced by the dark side of totally not the Force. The Vector.
The face.
The Vector. There. We'll use a math term. It's the Vector. The Vector surrounds us, does stuff, and might be made of bacteria. So, that is my crew. Is there a little story you want to put forth for your crew?
Absolutely not. I just chose them because they look cool.
Gotcha. All right. Well, should I take the first turn, or should you?
Let's roll for it. I got some dice over here. Let me go back.
All right. So he needs to disappear off camera again. Partially, mostly.
Dice!
We roll dice. We're rolling for initiative.
All right.
An 8. That is going to be difficult to beat. Watch me roll a 2.
A 10!
Okay.
And he beats it.
Yes, I do. So, on your turn, you get 2 actions. You can play an event card, play an untimely death, but only as your first action, and the character has to have a negative self-worth. So, to show you what a negative self-worth is, the counselor and her friend the princess were having a bit of a spat. So, the princess thought it would be funny to play a little practical joke on the counselor. She sent her to a room in the station that the Dark Lord ruled over, and the counselor was not familiar with it. Little did she know, she sent her to the trash compactor, where our friend the counselor was troubled by tentacles of something living within the trash compactor. We're not going to go into the hentai details of what happened with those tentacles, but you've got an imagination.
Did they keep calling out for 3PO and got no answer?
No, actually. As you'll notice, there's no robot. She did oddly call out the name of the heavyset balding woman she often sees buying groceries in the middle of the night. So, that is my first play.
So you're going to have to explain the turn to me a little bit, because this is my first time ever playing.
Okay. As I was saying, you get 2 actions.
Okay.
I've taken the 1 action to play a modifier card here.
Okay.
And I'm also going to take my 2nd action to show that there is a bit of backstabby in this game. So, the Space Knight, fetching woman that she is, if you saw the picture,
Cosmic Champion.
yes, is generally very friendly with everyone she meets. However, someone aboard the crew of the SSS Supervise caught her eye. So she spent a rotation loved by a lieutenant.
So do I follow the what's on the card, draw and keep 1 card from the hand of the player to your left?
Correct.
So I get to draw 1. Take this one.
Yep.
Huh. So now what?
I draw up to my hand size 5. So I draw 3 cards to get me at 5.
Okay.
And that means it is now your turn.
All right. Now, for those that may or may not know me, I'm not very good at doing story stuff, so bear with me. Let's see. You have
The Dark Lord, the Princess, the Counselor, and the Bounty Hunter. These 2 are friends. He's a paid lackey, and he's kind of a dick.
well. The last time that our 2 ships were docked at the same port, the doctor was out trying to get some supplies for the ship.
Is his ship bigger on the inside?
Could be. Well, it's a her there, but
Oh,
it's an old lady.
yeah, I'm thinking the time travel.
No, I'm going with the doctor.
Yeah, I know.
Doctor, time traveler, same thing.
Essentially, but still, I just kind of face planted into that joke.
So, the doctor was out getting supplies for the medical med bay, and ran into the counselor from your ship.
Walking funny?
Maybe.
Because she tangled with tentacles?
Yeah.
She was walking a little funny.
Yeah, she was walking a little weird. But she was convinced, the doctor was convinced by your counselor to buy some shady looking stuff. So she was conned by a counselor.
Very nice. And what's the effect text?
The player to your right may randomly select and discard 2 cards from your hand.
And since I'm the only other player...
Yeah, so you get to choose from my hand.
Uh-huh.
Alright.
Let's see.
Let me spread these out a little bit more.
Yeah. Let's go that one.
Okay.
And...
Oh, you know what the one on the end
I
is.
know. I'm trying to force myself not to do it because it's a dead giveaway.
Or since you do know what it is, you can get rid of it.
I didn't want to do that.
And I still have 1 more action.
Yep.
So...
and if I will say this, basically, since cards are meant to be overlaid on each other, if you do have something that will cover up this positive 10 with, say, a negative, you can negate that dick move I did.
Yeah.
Okay. Just so you know that.
Okay, let's see. Well, seeing as how the counselor was so good at conning the doctor over here, she was also a skilled scavenger. So that's where she got all her crap supplies that she con the doctor into buying there.
Which we don't have any event cards. Poop.
So I guess that's my turn.
Yep. So draw up to 5.
2, 3, 4, and 5. All right. That's my go.
All right. Well, this poor counselor seems to have all the luck. While being a skilled scavenger who was still walking a little funny, the princess again played a practical joke on her. This time it wasn't, because they were having a spat. This was just because the princess felt like it. She was truly under the sway of the dark side, and the counselor is her pretty but not too bright whipping post. So the princess, knowing that she was a skilled scavenger, decided, hey, why don't you go down to that planet? And she decided to turn off the transporter while she was in there halfway. So, missing her left shoulder and arm, the poor counselor was troubled by transporters. And randomly select and discard.
I'll go with this one. Yay!
Alright. So,
that's 1.
Yep. The android,
oh god,
because of her stunning good looks and existential quandaries, managed to weasel her way into the battleship of the Zaparthide dynasty. And it was there that she blew up the battleship with an improvised sonic spork given to her by the time traveler.
So I draw? It says draw 3 cards.
Yes. Okay. You draw 3 cards.
1, 2, 3.
And those are both of my plays, so I draw up to 5 once again.
Dang, I got a lot of cards. So on my turn, if I have more than 5, I discard down?
Yep.
Okay. Alrighty. Okay, let's see. That's going to be a hard one to take care of.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Well, out on their many adventures, the time traveler, he hasn't made very good friends out there in time and space, and
I thought everyone loves the Doctor.
Oh yeah, not everyone.
Okay.
In fact, there was a person who was hired to chase after him. No, that's done here.
Oh. So they don't want the job done right. I see.
No. They went to a certain planet,
mm-hmm.
where they have these warrior race with masks and yeah, I'm going there.
Okay.
And they hired this this person. He was pursued by a predator. There's no alien, but there is a predator.
Oh, there's plenty of aliens. They just haven't had a chance to fight for crossover money yet.
Let's see. But seeing as how the bounty hunter wasn't really available because he'd been hanging out with a hologram.
Ooh.
They didn't really... Oh, I get to skip my draw phase this turn. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. I'll do it anyway. But yeah, he didn't get hired because he was too busy hanging out with holograms.
I hear you.
So let me discard down 1.
All right.
So the symbols here in the corners.
Don't mean anything by themselves, but they'll often interact with cards. Like, I'll cheat and show you a card from my hand.
Or just grab one from the bottom here. Since
actually,
one of these discards.
Say since he has the love icon, or she has the love icon, and someone managed to play this untimely death on her, it would be worth an additional -10 score.
Ah, so they canceled that out.
Yeah. But they have to have a -4 to die off, so. And you can only play an untimely death as your first action.
Gotcha. So I did 2 things, correct?
Yeah, you played negative on the time traveler, and you played a positive on me. Yeah.
I will get rid of...
The cat wants to play too.
I'll get rid of that one.
All right.
Oh, do that. There we go.
All right.
I'm
So,
kind of anal with the whole cards facing the same way.
yeah. You good?
I should have 5. Yeah, I have 5. I'm good.
All right. So, as another one of the princess's clever little games that she played on the counselor, she loves hitting her. I mean, she just does not like her. As she falls to the dark side, she lashes out at the person closest to her, and the counselor and her have been friends since childhood. So the Dark Lord just kind of twiddles his thumbs and giggles while...
I don't know, would it be considered the dark side? I mean, should it be like the chartreuse side?
It's the opaque side. Whereas your Space Knight follows the teachings of the translucent vector. Anyway, so the princess says to her friend, "Hey, let's go out to a cantina. It'll be fun." Sure. And she starts, just talking around saying, "Hey, you know that chick over there?" She's talking about the counselor. She, claims that she's the best blaster duelist in the galaxy. I bet you could beat her. And, she thought that she'd get to watch her friend dance around laser bolts. But, really, the counselor should have shot first.
Aww.
And that was her end.
Except, being of a certain race, she regenerated and came right back to life.
Wondering why her friend got her shot. So now the counselor is starting to fall to the dark side and not be a little lackey. She is quite malicious. So, the princess shed her crocodile tears saying that she was so glad that her friend didn't get hurt. And the counselor hatched a plan. Why don't we go to this planet? It's nice, it'll support life. But she didn't tell her that it was home to a very small, very shag-carpety creature. And she laughed maniacally while the princess was troubled by tribbles.
Oh, somebody messaged me. So she was troubled by tribbles.
Yes. As revenge. And
wow.
I'm at 5 cards, so that makes it your turn.
All right. I draw at the end, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Well, seeing as how the let's see, after her battle with the battle station and coming back and getting victory and just loving life and everything. Ran into a group of bounty hunters at the bar. They were celebrating their big haul that they just brought in for the bounty, and she bumped into one of them and spilled the beer. So turned into an all-out battle. Of course, I don't know why an android will drink, but maybe she wanted some oil.
Mineral oil.
But yeah, she had to battle the bounty hunters.
Tragic.
And in this ensuing battle, her Space Knight friend was there as well, and the big scuffle was a slug creature, and she was slugged by a slug.
Right in the jaw.
Yeah. Right. Draw 3.
At least she didn't have to wear a demeaning outfit.
2 and 3.
Alright, so that's your go?
Yep.
Okay. So, remember that malfunctioning transporter that made the counselor have to sew her arm back on?
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, seeing as how when she regenerated, it came back. So.
It did. So she no longer has stitching in her left arm.
Yeah.
But they didn't bother to fix the transporter.
Oh.
So there was a transporter accident, and the bounty hunter got switched with the android that some of his friends beat up.
You were mad because I picked that one before the game started.
Damn right. And confused that she's now with a very evil princess, a scheming henchwoman in the counselor, and the Dark Lord who just kind of sits in his big egg chair and plays solitaire all day. She tried to make do with them, but she just couldn't. Which is unfortunate, because she didn't like these people. She was programmed for good. And, you know, she looked at the Dark Lord who was sitting there with, you know, sitting on his hands, and decided that we need to test him. Is he really worth my loyalty? So, again, the practical jokes on this ship are ridiculous. She marooned him on Mars, laughing maniacally. And, of course, the counselor and the princess...
Wow, that's worth 30? Shit.
Yeah. The counselor and the princess, but it also decreases my hand limit by 1.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah, the positive cards are bad for you, but they give you short-term good.
Yeah.
The negative cards give you short-term bad, but they're good for you in the long run.
Yeah.
So... yeah, she marooned him on Mars, and the princess immediately took to the android for that. So, that is my turn.
Alright.
So, I draw 1 because my hand is reduced by 1 by marooned on Mars, making it your turn.
Alright. Let's see. I have no idea what that means.
I can't help you because that would be cheating.
Purloined?
Stolen.
Oh. Let's see here. Well, the doctor, upset that one of her crewmates just disappeared and was replaced by this strange-looking bounty hunter guy, decided to go out and drink a little bit. Drink her woes away. But the thing is, she went to somewhere she wasn't used to going to. And while there, she didn't pay attention to the tequila that she was drinking. And it had and she picked up a parasite.
Oh. And discard a card.
Discard 3 cards.
Oh, wow.
Well, I guess I'm getting rid of all 3 of these. Maybe. Hold on. Yeah, I'll get rid of all 3 of those.
Alright.
Awesome. The Dark Lord over there, even though he got marooned on Mars, was able to get some good things taken care of while he was there. He found a station where they had these a map to this battle station that had all kinds of treasures in it. So he was so happy that he purloined the plans.
Hmm.
You get to draw, take one card from.
You win this round, boy. All right, draw up and
2, 3, 4, 5.
all right. So, for my first play, it seems that the Dark Lord is also a mechanical genius as opposed to being an intimidating force of no goodness. The opaque side of the vector. And the plans that he purloined were for a time machine. But time travel, if you ask the time traveler, is a jarring experience. So, it wasn't his best day when he traveled through time, which caused him to forget about purloining the plans.
Aww.
And the android, bless her heart, while this was going on, while he was wandering among the red wastes of Mars, realized that the translucent side of the vector, their forces were attacking in a foolish attempt to attain balance by murdering them. And since she was so taken by, marooning the Dark Lord on Mars for no reason, and she was actually being welcomed into the princess's schemes to overthrow the Dark Lord, she forgot to shut down the shields.
So you discard
your entire hand, which is
wow.
2 cards. So 2, 3, 4, because actually that's no longer showing. So all right, your turn.
Alrighty. Well, bounty hunter coming onto this new ship wasn't very happy with the doctor. He'd run into her a few times, especially when the counselor tricked her into buying some shady-looking stuff. But he didn't trust her at all. So he shoved her out of an airlock.
Ouch.
So what happens with that?
You flip her over because you flip all card. No.
Okay.
You basically flip her down like that, and then when the game is over, you'll count her showing self-worth, and that's part of that.
Let me just do that then. Hold on. Since she only had 2, I'll do this. How about that?
And what does the death card say?
It didn't match.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you had the beastie icon.
Yeah.
All right. So that's your first play.
Yep, she's dead.
What's your second play? The doctor's dead?
Yep.
So who's going to tell the captain that they're dead?
He's dead, Jim. Well, I don't have a captain right now.
We'll name the bounty hunter Jim.
The time traveler is my...
The doctor?
Yeah.
So he's the one who says that the doctor's dead?
Yep.
The doctor says the doctor is dead.
Yep.
Okay.
He's taking over the role of the doctor.
Of course.
During this whole airlocking incident, the Space Knight got a little frightened, so they ran over to the escape shuttle and just shot off the ship. The bounty hunter came over and shot them down in the shuttle.
Bounty hunter's a vindictive little cuss, ain't he?
Discard your entire hand.
Right, so discard and then draw it to your hand limit.
Does that do anything? Worth an additional... Okay. 2, 3, 4 and 5. All right.
Okay, so the android with her bionic parts thought that she could handle a oddly shaped villain that she had heard the time traveler talk about.
Mm-hmm.
She was not up to the task, but they're kind of slow and clunky, so she was eventually exterminated.
I don't have any more of those. I had to get rid of it.
Yep.
I had a cancel card.
All right.
I believe it said con.
Oh, yeah. All right. So, the princess, she was a very arrogant woman.
Mm-hmm.
Falling to the opaque side of the vector made her incredibly arrogant. And she thought that possibly she could groom the counselor as a surrogate in case something happened to her, because she knew that evil doesn't have a very long shelf life. But she grew to despise the counselor. It was just more fun to, give her the false hope of ascension and then, close the airlock door behind her. So the princess made a clone of herself. And this clone was just as brash, full of hubris as she was. So eventually it came to blows. Things did not go well when the princess clashed with the clone. So I discard 3 cards and then draw up to hand limit. 3, 4, 5. All right, and that makes it your turn.
All right. Bounty hunter thought he was doing pretty well on this ship, taking out one of the crew members and shooting at another one that was escaping in the escape pod or shuttle. Sorry, shuttle. But the thing is, he wasn't expecting when he went back to one of the space towns of let's call it Spacearia. The space town of Spacearia.
It's better than Spaceville.
Yeah, it's Spaceville.
Or Cosmoton.
That's the rural part.
Of course. Or the moisture farm?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
While he was there, he ran into this guy who he'd never really seen before. And was told that, there's all kinds of riches if you just go over here. He's like, I don't know about this. But then he opens up a bag and he shows him that, there's lots of riches. So he buys a map to this place. And it turns out that it was just a back alley and he got himself beat up. He was tricked by a traitor. Player to your right may randomly select and keep 2 cards from your hand.
One. And
ooh.
Okay. And that was your first one.
Yeah. While the ship was docked here at Spacearia, the doctor thought he'd go out and try to see what else there was to do here, and so he decided to rent a vehicle to ride around, get a good view of the whole city. But as he was driving, he hit a hitchhiker.
They should have had a better guide.
Yeah, I know, right? And that's my turn. 2,
Okay.
3, 4, and 5. Alright, score is so far I have 1 dead, you have 1 dead. And the game ends when all 4 of one side is dead. When do you only score points from the ones that are dead, or? Okay, cool.
Speaking of dead,
Uh-oh.
remember that cantina gunfight that the princess thought would be so hilarious to get the counselor trapped in? Yeah, he was kind of raw when she got back up after he shot her dead. And he challenged her again. And she's like, I'll probably just regenerate it. It'll be fine. No. I'm sorry, counselor, honey. You died in a duel.
Aww. Dun, dun, dun.
And this actually got to the princess a little because, yeah, she'd done nothing but abuse her friend, but she missed her now that she was gone. That distraction got her in trouble as they were trying to get back the plans for their death tickle from the rebels. And while there, she was trapped by troopers with no idea what to do. So she played the royalty card.
Yeah, that's the one you took from me. Damn it. I said that was the card you took from me.
Yeah, and I was agreeing.
Yeah.
Alright, so that's my 2 plays, meaning it is now your go.
You have 5 cards?
1, 2, 3, 4, exactly.
Damn. Alright,
Action text. Yeah, it was just worth additional because she had the...
Well, the Dark Lord, after doing his little time travel thing and forgetting about the plans and just going off and doing his own thing, ran into he ran into a sex robot. The thing is,
the sex robot's already dead.
No, a different one.
Okay, this was about to go someplace really weird.
But he kind of fell in love with her. He fell in love with the sex robot, and he was romanced by a robot.
But wouldn't that run contrary to her programming? And she would just say that she needs her space?
He reprogrammed her.
I thought he just vector persuaded her.
Vector persuaded?
I am the man you're looking for. Alright, so while that shows, my draw limit is increased by 1.
Yes.
Alright, so your second play.
Finding a way to escape from the troopers. The princess, feeling that she was being so clever, decided to go to the Pleasure Planet just to celebrate.
Yay.
And that's my turn.
Okay. Alright. Well, the Dark Lord, happy with his new mechanical bride, decided to take her for a night out on the town to show her off. And there were some people who are a bit backwards in their thinking, and they didn't like it that a mostly organic being, because, you know, he had his arm cut off, as his son did, and apparently everyone in his family loses an arm at some point. Maybe they should look into a less dangerous line of work. I don't know. Neither here nor there. They didn't believe that organics and robots should be together. They thought it was unnatural and gross. So, of course, the Dark Lord, finally finding some semblance of redemption that didn't get him enveloped in lightning, quarreled in the cantina for love. Granted, he was doing it for love, but he still might have force choked a few people, and that generally didn't sit well with the authorities on that station. And the princess, she went to the Pleasure Planet, and she really had a good time. She was so not fit to drive her spaceship. and she crash landed on a strange planet. You know, eventually she had her high, she came down, she remembered her dear departed friend, the counselor, who was shot in a duel that she got her into. She wasn't paying attention as skittering noises surrounded her, and the day gave way to night.
Are we going all pitch black on this?
The indigenous population did not take kindly, and our princess was beaten by bugs.
Yep. I thought we'd go at least Starship Troopers on that one.
I would have thought, but...
They're afraid!
No, she got beaten pretty hard. And, you know, this isn't impaled by an arachnid. No. If it were an untimely death, I would totally go Starship Troopers. So, because of that card, I skipped my draw phase this turn.
Alright.
And that makes it your go.
Alright. Let's see.
And remember, you can play Untimely Deaths only as your first action, and you might want to start killing.
Yeah, the only problem is... fuck it. Screw it. I'll go ahead and play it.
Play how you want. If you've got a longer game in mind...
I don't.
Okay. Fine.
Well, after crash landing in the shuttle onto the closest planet, she runs into the Dark Lord over there, using his opaque vector versus her translucent vector, and she was choked from afar.
Ouch.
Bum, bum, bum. And she died. Can't be countered.
Was it all too easy?
All too easy. No, they choked on their aspirations.
Cool it with the dad joke. Really? You think I could be a father? No. Well, he's now falling back to the dark side. I mean, that robot tail can only do so much to redeem him. Old habits die hard.
Well, somebody, I think somebody killed off his little robot friend there because he doesn't have the heart anymore.
Maybe. That or he's kind of fallen out of love. It's like, I'm bored with you.
I'm all out of love.
I need to go buy some death sticks. I'm never coming back.
Oh, what?
What?
Which ones are the modifier cards? Is all the stacked ones?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the one with the floating skull and the helmet.
Can you play negatives on your opponents? Or is it only on your cards you can play negatives?
Counterintuitive, and I think the rules say you can only play them on yours.
God dang it. This one's good.
Well, play it on one of yours.
I can't. I don't want to.
Then you can always pass.
Hold on. I just want to check a rule real quick.
Okay.
Cruise, event cards, modifier cards are stacked on top of the character and remain there. They alter the character's self-worth score. They have additional effects as described on the card, and maybe are story icons. You play modifier cards on anyone's character, not just yours, as long as the character doesn't have an untimely death card yet. So we can.
Oh, okay.
Nice. Okay.
Do my job for me.
Yep. Alright. Princess. Being, let's see, where was she? She was attacked by bugs?
She crash landed on the planet.
Okay. While there, I mean, she was bloody and bleeding. And someone rescued her, and she passes out. She comes to, and she's all healed up and everything. But they didn't want to leave her side. They were so happy that she was alive that they weren't alone anymore, that she was saddled with a sidekick. Discard all other modifier cards on top or below this one. Wow. That's why I wanted to play that one on yours.
I see. And is that both your plays?
Yep.
Alright.
And your go.
Alright. Well, the princess, if nothing else than to get away from her annoying sidekick, had to fix the hyperdrive. You have one card of your choice. Now balls. I should have
Thank you for that.
No, I should have done this so differently. Fuck. Oh well.
You could have killed her off.
Actually, I was gonna kill him off, and then
Yeah. Hindsight.
yeah,
And all that.
yeah. So she went out to fix the hyperdrive because, well, she wanted to get away from her sidekick. She's still quite evil, and I can't do anything else, so I passed for my second action. 3, 4, 5. Okay, your turn.
While she was trying to escape her sidekick, what does it say? Went out to fix the hyperdrive?
Yeah, she had to fix the hyperdrive.
Alright, while she was out fixing the hyperdrive, a Martian walks up, and they fall in love,
Oh.
and she married a Martian. So she's at 0 right now.
Mm-hmm.
After killing the Space Knight, the Dark Lord goes out. He heard word that his mother had been captured by
Grass people.
Water people.
Okay.
So he jumps on his little speeder scooter.
It's a Vespa in space.
It's a Vespa in space. It only goes 30.
Yeah. It's barely street legal, and you do not look cool when riding it.
So he's flying over the water, and like the waves crashing up, and he goes there to rescue a relative.
Oh.
You have no negatives.
But I draw 2 cards.
Yeah. Let's see here. Nope. I'm going to skip my turn.
Okay.
Second action. Well, no, I won't.
Alright.
I'm going to play one more card.
Okay.
The bounty hunter, after being tricked by the trader, is wandering through this desert and sees a ruined building. So he walks in there, opens the door, and he blunders into a blob. Just walks right into it.
At least he doesn't fall into a giant butthole in the sand.
And I skip my draw phase.
Okay. Alright. So, this Martian that the Dark Lord married, she was a very positive influence, and she kept trying to redeem him back to the...
She married the Martian. He
rescued her. Oh, yeah, you're right. So, reconnecting with his family really did a lot towards redeeming him. And his mother was always nagging him. And, clean up your room, clean up your room, clean up your room. It eventually got to the Dark Lord.
When are you going to get me
So he
grandkids?
blew up his own base. There, it's clean, woman. Shut up. And So, the princess...
Does this take effect just the turn that it came out, or every turn?
Just the turn that it comes out.
Gotcha.
If it has a loop icon...
Okay. Got it. I have one in my hand, so I understand. And there's one there.
Yeah. So, the princess, with her new Martian husband, decided to try new things since she never thought she'd marry a Martian. And she found out about this program that her computer run called the Matrix. She got into it. She got way too deep into it. And she was mystified by the Matrix. Alright, so my draw limit is decreased by 1. Gonna discard this.
Draw limit, not hand limit.
I consider them one and the same, but I'm going to discard that anyway.
Okay.
Your turn.
Alright, well, I'm going to skip my turn because I need cards.
Okay. Well, draw up to your hand size.
1 and 2.
Alright. And after he blew up the base, he got on his space Vespa, which is now, even though it can only go 30 miles an hour, is somehow capable of breaking the atmosphere. He's like, fine! I'm going to go to my friend's house. Yeah, he flew into a star.
Aww.
Alright. And the princess, while mystified by the Matrix, took on one last crew member for her ship. Actually kind of a stowaway who was working for the translucent side of the Vector. And, of course, since she didn't renounce her ways, he tried to offer her redemption. She refused. And she was shot by a shepherd.
Just alive?
Just in the arm. Karma for cutting her friend's arm off earlier. And let's see. So I draw up to hand size. 3, 4, 5.
Well, I'm going to make this really easy.
Okay.
The doctor, or time traveler, who hit a hitchhiker, turns out that hitchhiker was a relative of a pretty powerful person in town. They called out a hit on him. So, he's dead, Jim.
And what does that do?
Choose an untimely death card. Place it on any living.
That's not an untimely death, that's an event. You're looking for the skull.
Skull?
Yeah.
That one, yes. So what does this do then?
That one, you play it. It's an event card, so you play it.
Oh, you just play it. You don't play
Yeah.
it on somebody.
No.
Okay.
And then it
He's
goes
dead,
to the
Jim.
discard.
The
All right.
bounty hunter's dead, Jim.
Curses. What about your second play?
Crap. No. Can I discard?
Oh, yeah.
Down to what?
Whatever. It says your entire hand, but if you got things you just don't need, you can pitch them so you can draw new.
Huh. What does it say? So I'm gonna get rid of a couple cards and then draw back up to 5. And
Okay.
that's an action.
Alright, my turn?
Yep.
Alright. So, the time traveler, plucky man that he is, spends a lot of time combing the depths of the universe. It was in one of his strange journeys that he found a force.
Your draw limit is increased by 1 card.
Mm-hmm. And let's see.
Yeah, as long as that's showing?
As long as the card is showing.
Okay.
Although, actually, yeah, I think it's as long as that loop is showing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a really good card, which is good and bad.
Yeah.
Alright, so I discard those 2 as my second action. 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright. Your turn.
Alright. Well, the time traveler may have found a force, but while he was out adventuring, finding things, in the process, he kind of lost the last starfighter.
Okay.
Yeah. Each of the other players may draw and keep 1 card from your hand. Alright. Adan's trying to call me right now.
The delivery man. Alright, well, this game is going to be over soon. Because you done?
That was 1 action, and yeah, I'm going to finish. And since that symbol is still showing, I get to draw an extra card, I believe.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, draw limit increased by 1. So
yep.
I draw up to 6. 4, 5, and 6. Go ahead.
Alright, well, the, princess, still entrenched by the Matrix, and now seeking solace from her wounded shoulder after being shot by a shepherd, went too far down the rabbit hole, and sentinels were sent after her. Our poor princess was mangled by machines.
Aww. And that's game.
Yep. So, now we count up our family self-worth score, and the one who has the lowest wins. So let's see, we got 40, 55, 65.
It's only the ones
30.
that died, though, right?
Yes. I think it might be all of them.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. Now new cards. Special. Winning the game. The game ends. Blah blah blah. When the game ends, each player adds up the self-worth scores of all their dead characters. Okay, so living characters don't get added.
Okay.
All right, so we've got. That's my hand. 40, 55, 65, 95.
If you have more than
50
125, you won.
just on these 3 characters.
Yeah.
And plus 30, so I had a negative 175.
Alright.
Oh, wait. Negative 185.
You won. That's pretty fun.
Yeah. With our story of failed redemption and just kind of clerksing around the galaxy.
Clerksing.
Yes.
What was it, 37 dicks?
Yes, in a row.
In a row.
Alright, so that was Gloom in Space. I hope you had as much fun watching it as we did playing it. How do you feel about the game, Rum?
It wasn't bad. Not very good at storytelling, but
you still did a fine job.
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't have many ums or ahs, and it flowed well enough. I mean, you told a story. It, like I said, was clerksing around space, but yeah, it worked.
37 dicks.
In a row.
All right. Thanks for watching. And we're going to call it for now. And
we are going to take a short break. And we might be back later with Magic the Gathering.
All right. See you later.
Stay classy.